So it's called Roll Smart. So this chain is kind of the only graphic representation of it I have. I'm trying to get my partner Justin to make me a sample on plexiglass. I can flip it over and show people. But this is what Roll Smart rolls out. It kind of rolls out in a blue hue. What it is it's one applied by one man standing with a paint roller with a long arm on it. And then he would just use a 5-in-1 paint tool to pick up the trash off the roll, you know, almost like you would do when the trowel meets the ground when you're troweling. So this does a couple of things. Obviously, one guy standing is a lot less expensive than two guys on their hands and knees to install something or to, you know, roll something out, put something out on the floor before they lay. There's a couple more advantages. Bucket to bucket, it's a slight bit more expensive to do Roll Smart, but Roll Smart goes a lot farther. So you get a lot more square feet out of the bucket. So it's about a 30% savings on both each labor and material. Also, you're able to immediately put the floor into use afterwards. So this takes about 15 minutes to flash off. So once it's rolled out, 15 minutes later, you can start laying your floor. And then once it's laid, you can do your initial clean and away you go. The only exception to that would be if you're doing any type of sheet vinyl with heated weld rods, where you're heating the weld rod. But just because you need to wait for that to cool before you can do anything with it, or it's going to cloud up and you're going to think there's something wrong with the weld rod. Mm-hmm. It won't look very good. Hospital beds is kind of, I don't know if you get into that ever, or any heavy hospital beds or equipment in the middle of a room. A lot of the time you have to do a 2-part adhesive under that, otherwise you're going to have adhesive displacement because of that weight. Is kind of the point load is really, really high, especially on the striker casters. But with Roll Smart, it's so thin and it goes on so thin and evenly that you don't have the adhesive displacement you would have. So this is approved under hospital beds. So you could get away with doing one adhesive everywhere instead of having to do a 2-part under the bed and then just your normal trowelable everywhere else. So it's just a nice solution. It's a time saver, it's a money saver, and also kind of saves some installation problems too with telegraphing and that kind of thing.
How's the off-gassing of that compared to?
It is actually it is Green Guard certified and C2C. So great. I feel like there's something else I was going to say about Roll Smart because I really like it, but I can't remember.